son of a bitch. Anger is not an emotion. It's a reaction to other things that you may be feeling. Things that have you overwhelmed or that you don't have the ability to deal with at the time or the skill set to deal with at the time. Anger is a reaction to other things. Stress, anxiety, sadness. And as you gain emotional intelligence, you learn that your reaction to things, being anger, isn't really what it's about. You're not really mad at the thing, you're mad at the way that you feel. If you lose your shit, you lose your leadership. Taylor Allison Swift. She might be a bad bitch, and that might be a little bit savage, but it's true. I've worked a lot of different places, a lot of different times, and I've seen a lot of managers that have a bad habit of yelling at people when they don't do the thing the way they are expected to do it, which initially gets people's attention.
No! God, please, no! 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 No!
But it doesn't develop them and allow them to learn from what happened. It just allows them to learn that they'll get in trouble if they don't do it the right way. That's not development. So it's really hard for people to regulate their anger if they can't acknowledge where it's coming from. Anger can come from shame, it can come from frustration, it can come from disappointment. So many people that are known to be angry, myself included in the past, are just known as angry people. That's someone that'll never be happy, which has some truth to it in the fact that if they don't acknowledge why they're reacting the way that they're reacting, they'll never make progress from it.
I'm always angry.
So you really have to drill down and figure out why it is that you're angry. For me, a lot of it was that I had a low self-image, low self-worth. I was angry all the time because I wasn't happy with who I was. And the issue with that is if your go-to response is anger, people don't take you seriously. So you have to figure out a way to manage that. Additionally, anger not being an emotion, you can control when you do and do not feel anger. I know that seems tough because it's such a visceral reaction to things. But if you realize that, hey, wait, I'm not angry, I'm sad, lost, I'm confused, then you can adapt to how you deal with that when it happens. Now, it's not a perfect process, right? So you may have to have some distance from it and go back and look and go, oh man, I wasn't mad. I was frustrated. I was disappointed. A perfect example is when I deal with my kids, okay? A lot of times I will react poorly when my kids do something wrong. I'll yell, I'll try to get their attention, and I'm angry, right? And what it isn't, I'm not mad at them. I'm disappointed that they didn't learn the first time when we discussed it. I have the feeling that they don't respect us enough to control their behavior. And ultimately, they're just kids. And that's where I have fault as a dad, is that I that's one of the main places I struggle is still with my kids, I'm quick to anger. Now, that could be for a lot of things. One, maybe I'm just not good at being a dad, which I like to think is not the case. Two, it can be that I use up all my patience and my emotional energy while I'm at work or while I'm dealing with the general public or whatever I'm doing. And then when I come home, I feel safe, so I relax, I let my guard down. And then my kids, then they are the victim of that. So that's something I really, really need to work on. Now, over the years, I have really changed the way that I deal with anger across the board. And unfortunately, that seems to be the last vestige, the last holdout where I still get angry and I still yell, because normally I don't yell. I can be stern, I can be direct, but normally I don't yell, which is funny because at one point I was a manager for a company. And a lot of times I would get from the people that reported directly to me, I'd get feedback. They'd go to other people and then I'd get feedback. Well, why did you yell at them? I'm like, I did not yell at them.
There's no need to shout.
I'm not shouting! All right, I am.
That's something I corrected years ago. I just corrected them. I told them what they had done incorrectly and what my expectations were. So that's frustrating because sometimes I'll hear from people that I yelled and I know that I didn't.
I'll come down there and give you a crew cut, mister.
Stop yelling at me!
So this is one of the reasons why I'm such a proponent of therapy, okay? For years, I would nuke relationships, friendships, romantic relationships, by being angry because I was either not confident that the person loved me, or I was, and this is me stuff. This doesn't have anything to do with them. I was not confident the person loved me. I was not confident that the other person held the friendship to as much importance as I did. I was insecure about my knowledge, my experience, all of these things. And so I would get angry as a defense against these things. Now, to be clear, I'm not making an excuse for this. I'm trying to point out so that other people can see where they may be making the same mistake. So from orbit, I would nuke relationships. Left and right. I'd lose friendships because we'd have a disagreement and I would go immediately to supernova and we'd be fighting, arguing about whatever issue was at hand because I felt insecure about maybe I'm not right about this. Maybe I don't know the truth about this. Maybe I'm not as informed as I think. And I would be angry because I was insecure. So the emotion was not anger. It was as a result of my insecurity. So I had to really drill down to this problem in therapy and find out why I was so angry all of the time. And it was because of these other emotions that I was dealing with and had been dealing with for a really long time. So if you find yourself being angry and thinking everyone else is an idiot and no one else can do anything correctly, and nobody knows the right way to do things, and only your way is the right way, and you can feel your ears getting hot, you can feel your head starting to throb, you might want to ask yourself, what am I really angry about? Am I angry, or am I frustrated? Am I sad? Am I overwhelmed? That's why I encourage everyone to go in and do the damn work. Because you're never going to make that correction. You're never going to make that improvement on yourself unless you actually do the reps, do the work, talk to your therapist, try to get down to the nitty-gritty of why this is happening. The relief that you'll feel once you realize that, wait a minute, I'm not an angry person, I'm a scared person. Because you can address a fear. You can address a loss. You can address so many of your emotions. It's just very hard to address anger because the idea behind it is, well, just don't get angry. Well, you can't decide to just not get angry if you don't know what's causing the anger. So ultimately, where was my anger coming from? Well, it's none of your business, you nosy asshole. That's for me. No, I'm just kidding. I was scared. I was uncomfortable with who I was. I was frustrated with my life choices. I was feeling very unfulfilled. I was depressed. I was anxious. I was all of these things. And once I realized that I wasn't really angry, I was overwhelmed, the pieces started to fall together. So when I look back at the times when I yell at my kids, it's because I'm overwhelmed. I love my kids. I'm not angry at them. I don't dislike them. I don't hate them. I don't feel anger towards them. I just am not handling the fact that I'm emotionally overstimulated properly. And that's my fault. So now that I recognize that, I have to do the work. So do you. You have to do the damn work. It's not just going to fix itself on its own. And try to remember, too, that angry people aren't taken seriously. People think that you're overreacting. People think that all of your decisions come from anger and hate and discontent. They don't give you the credibility and the respect you deserve. But in order to deserve that credibility and respect, you have to do the work on yourself. Anger is not an emotion. It's a reaction to something else you're feeling that has you emotionally dysregulated to the point that you react in an angry way. It's a lot like a musical, right? The idea behind a musical is that the people feel so much emotion that the only way they can let it out is in song. That's kind of how anger works. You're feeling so much emotion about other things. The only way that you're able to let it out and process it is this basic animal instinct to be angry. Do the work. Anger is not an emotion. Figure yourself out and you will feel so much better for it. We'll talk again soon. You know, hitting your head hurts. 0 out of 10, do not recommend. I would not. I was doing some work and I hit my head and it hurt. If you like everything we're doing here, please like and subscribe. Check out our little community that we're growing here, and I will try to come back with more nonsense for you to enjoy in the future without physically hurting myself.